Hi, and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. That's right, you just saw me. Okay, so we all miss Buster Brown a lot. But in this house, we have dachshunds. So we were able to work with a rescue out of Raleigh, Durham called Doxy by Proxy. Highly recommend them. And they helped us find Mia. Mia, let's see if we can get her in there. See Mia. Let's see if I can stand up a little bit. Ooh. Mia is a miniature cream dachshund, very rare. But what's also rare, you might kind of see in her eyes, she's a blinder. So we went from seniors to a 3-year-old. And it's kind of like going from geriatrics to toddlerhood. But we love her. So Mia is settling in nicely. It's part of the reason why I didn't record last week. I was so enthralled. I got 0 stitching done. Or stitching that I couldn't talk about. Because it was Mother's Day and I was, sewing for Mother's Day. Oh, I'm so thirsty. So for Mother's Day, ow, I'm just hurting myself. Mia has been so busy because she's blind, but she can smell and hear very, very well, I assure you. Just rustle a treat bag and she'll show you how fast she can show up. But she gets around really well, but because she is blind, she is very into everything, just everything. She has literally pulled things out of my sewing room, like, what are you doing? But she is settling down. Like this week, she was curled up in the bed before I called her over. She's walking around now, but she's not as panicky as she was. And I love her. She's adorable. So let me try and slide closer here. Hi everybody. Okay, I made a list of things. So I'm just going to kind of put this in front of me. Already talked about Mia. She's cute. She's so soft. Yes, hold on. Let's get her one more time. Look how pretty. Look how pretty Mia is. Look. So pretty. And she loves her mommy. Yes. Okay, I digress, sorry. I might be in love. It's been really hard to do things like work. Like, why am I here? Mia's at home. And then I remember work is the reason why I can afford Mia. So I was like, okay, I'll get back to work. So one thing that I have been remiss in talking about in the last couple weeks is I have revamped again my cutting station. I loved my first try, but it was a first try. You have to improve these things. And I had gotten my rifle canvas, my favorite print of rifle paper company, fabric, and I got it in a canvas and I got the right size. The problem with my cutting board at first was that it wasn't deep enough. So the shelving that I got was 24 inches deep by 42 inches deep, and it's Metro shelving from the Container Store because I work there. Because I work there, I get a discount. Yay! That just means I spend 40% more. It really doesn't mean that I'm saving much money. Sorry, so thirsty. Making a coaster. I need a coaster. So, a few weeks ago when I splurted out some ridiculousness about, I don't need to do any more shopping, and I turned off the camera and immediately went and go shopping, I stopped by Well, you know, the Stitch and Frame shop is closing, so I had to go by and see what was there, if anything. And I went to Home Depot and I got a 4x4 sheet of plywood, and I had them cut it. My cutting mat is a nice big one from Martelli. It's double-sided. You can actually iron on it without it damaging it. Though I still don't like to do it. It still wigs me out. But it is a 24x36 mat, which means because the cutting surface is 24x36, the mat is a little bit longer than that. So, suffice it to say, my first try on the cutting table, the board that I got to go on top was exactly 24 inches deep. It was the right width, but the depth of it, the cutting mat still kind of hung off the edge and wasn't as secure as I wanted it to be. So when I went shopping the last time, and I went to Home Depot, had them cut a 26, let's say it's 26, 20, maybe 28-ish, and then I have like an 18-inch section to go on my new ironing station, which I have assembled, but it is not complete. I still need to cut the wood components to the right specifications. So when I got my piece of wood, I asked Ron, hi, good evening. Mia wants to see you. It's unacceptable that it's been over a week and you haven't come and given her any treats. I'm just saying it needs to happen soon. Anyhow, I asked him if I could borrow his 2-inch hole maker, and I was able to do so. And I made the holes for the cutting table board larger, which made it easier for me to get it on, because that was also another issue I had on my first try. So suffice it to say, it's up. I'm not going to show it to you because it's covered in stuff and I'm also recording on it. So just believe me when I say it is now perfect and I love it. And I'm excited to do my ironing board. So thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody, for cheering me on. So that is the cutting board upgrade and the ironing boards update as well. So I still think I need to finagle with the shelf spacing and blah blah blah. I might need one more shelf, but I needed to wait one, we'll see. So Mother's Day was very successful. Mia and I were able to go up to Boone and I got to see my mommy and daddy, which was fantastic. And we spent a lovely day in the mountains. Mia did very well in the car. I got her an adorable car seat, and she's adorable in it. But that's not really much of a stretch because she's kind of adorable everywhere. So I need to find where I need to put these pins. So bear with me while I argue with it. I should have done this before recording, but there are just some things that you think of on the spot. That was one of them. So, the last time I recorded, I talked about these placemats that have turned into a very tardy Mother's Day gift. But I got them done, so I can at least show you, because it's Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. So we always go over to Pat, my mother-in-law's house, for dinner. And I was like, I had these done on Mother's Day, but I didn't get them to him on Mother's Day. It's like, I'll just bring them on Wednesday. And of course I forgot them. So this is the first one. And I'm very pleased with it. I figured out how I wanted to do the binding. And they came out really nice, I think. She's going to really like them. I'm going to show you this one too. So this very 80s color palette of Southwestern is right up my mother-in-law's alley. And I think she's really gonna like them. I did the back on this one a little differently. Those two colors had the same pattern, and this colorway had two different patterns. And again, these were panels that were intended to be pillows. I really like this. This is like a canvas. Really like that. So these were like home deck panels, essentially. So they're a little wonky. They're not, they're definitely not straight. But I did a couple of things that are interesting that I like to talk about. So see this little guy here, this little stitch into my miter corner. So for my mom, I made her a project bag, a vinyl front project bag. And I had heard that Elizabeth Ann can stitch, who is a floss tuber. If you haven't watched her, I highly recommend. I like her stuff. But I don't watch her all the time. But she does have a couple of really great tutorials. One of them is project bags that a lot of other floss tubers talk about as well. So I searched on her page for the project bag tutorial. And I saw something. Hold on. I want to make sure I don't forget. And couldn't find the vinyl front one. I just saw the one that was all fabric that you can't see inside. And I watched it, see what kind of sizes she was using and that kind of stuff, because I've been making bags since I was in elementary school, so I kind of have the gist of what I want to do, but tips and tricks are always a good thing. Mia is digging into the fabric that's on the floor. It's annoying and adorable all at the same time. I watched her tutorial, and she mentions stitching in the miter corner. Now, I watched, I found her vinyl front panel project bag tutorial after I made mine, because I struggled with the binding portion of it, because I always struggle with binding. I haven't found my perfect technique yet, but I'm getting better. I'm getting closer. You just got to do more of these things. So I tried this technique on these, because they're going to get used a lot and washed and all that kind of stuff. So no need to have any spaces where they could come apart. So I thought that was a really good idea. So I stole it for these placements. And then I'm going to steal them on the next project bag I'm going to make. I also have watched another project bag tutorial. I believe it's called DDS Studios. She might be in Australia. I just watched the tutorial and had other things to accomplish, so didn't watch any further. She does the same technique. So basically what I've learned about project bags, and I'm about to finish my second one so I can really make sure I like how to do this. Basic size is 12 by 14. You make the backing 2 inches wider, so you have an inch around the inside and the vinyl front, and then you fold it over twice. But Elizabeth Ann can stitch, and DDS does the same miter corner where they fold it over instead of, I was trying to cut it. I just couldn't think of anything else to do to make the miter corner the way I wanted it to look. But they basically folded it over at a 45-degree angle and then folded the other side up. And it was exactly how I wanted it to look. So I'm excited to finish up. I have a project bag in the works. So I'm going to test it out when I'm done with this. I had hoped to have it done to actually show you what I was talking about. But alas, it did not happen. So when I sew the binding down, I'm going to do the same thing on the project bag, where you get to the corner, you go up and back, and then you keep going. and you just turn it at a 45-degree angle. So that's my big plans for our project bags and placemats. Yay. I did do a little other shopping. Oh my God, she's asleep at my feet, but still my little heart. I have gotten, for my friend who's been sick, who's home now and doing some recovery, I wanted to get some fun cards to send her. And I have been in a couple of sewing classes in Waxhaw at the Thimblebee Sewing School. And also involved in the Charlotte Quilters Guild and a little bit in the Modern Quilters Guild of Charlotte. And have become friends with some really cool people. One of them, her name is Alan. And I mean, you have to be friends with a girl named Alan. It's like a boy named Sue. You need that in your life. But she and her sister have created a company called Love's 365 Cards. So I'll get in on that. So I ordered some cards on Instagram. I follow them on Instagram. They're also on Facebook. And they're small little cards, but they're, you can see them when I hold them over here. So I got some fun cards. Look at this one. I'm so thankful for you. Get it? So. Alright. So, small little cards, like 3x5 size. And so I just ordered a bunch of them. And I didn't expect this, but when you first order, you get a cute little card box. And you get a pen. I was like, well, that's a fine how do you do. That was enjoyable. So I told the ladies at Stitching last week. And I think everyone's ordering some. So you're welcome, Alan and your sister. Cute logo. Love 365. They're local to Waxhaw. Love365cards.com. I believe they have some hashtags like hashtag send mail, stuff like that. Follow them. They're cute. And other than that, it's been a struggle. Mrs. Campbell, I have not had the patience or the thought process to even like sit down and think about it. That 46 count just requires so much concentration. I've just not had it. But in stitching today, stitching was different today because a lot of people weren't there. My mom and my dad and Adrian went to go see Adrian's brother. So Neil, who's also Adrian's sister and Bill's brother, Bill's sister, was at Stitching with us, and Aunt Mary Lou was, and then it was us North Carolina girls. We had Rachel and Jody, so it was kind of, it's fun to have a big group, and it's fun to have a small group, and it's fun that people can go in and out. What I'm saying is I really love stitching, and I really love the stitching group we've kind of created, so it's really cool. So I was able to get some stitching in, so you can see I was working on the top border, I had a thread started, and so I just finished that thread, and then I started on the letters, and that went pretty quick. I just have 2 more letters, I believe, that are on this page, and then I need to, do the borders more, and then do those gorgeous little flowers. So I got in a little bit of a rhythm, and I have the next letter thread ready to go. So surely I can get motivated to get something done. But I really want to stitch this this project bag together tonight. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So my mom, like I said, is out of town. And she and Adrian went to go see my cousin Bill, my mom's cousin Bill, who's my first cousin once removed Bill. And they're having a mighty good time, laughing, talking, eating, drinking, doing all the things. Here's the thing, is that possibly the greatest quilt store known to man is in Summerville, South Carolina. It's called People, Places, and Quilts. If you haven't gone, you need to go. Again, when my mother, who's been in a few quilt stores herself, says it is still, Becky, the best quilt store I've ever been in, you know you gotta go. We found it when we were, Neil, Adrian, my mom and I went on a summer vacation. We went on vacation in the Pawleys Island area. Neil had a connection with a place to stay, and we all went and had a glorious time. And we've done that twice, I believe. Yes, twice. And the second time we went down, we went to go see Bill, because we were in the area, and you always need to go see family when you're in the area. And we were a little early, so the ladies, I was driving, and the ladies were Googling places to go, and we stumbled upon this place. We went in and just kind of fell all over ourselves. So what makes this special? First of all, the building is really cool. It's an old building that's been refurbished, and so it's got lots of nooks and crannies in different areas. Some of the things that stick out to me is the books area. So it feels like when you go all the way to the back, they may have rearranged by this time, but when I went there, it was all the way in the back, and they have a wonderful library that makes you feel like you are at Barnes & Noble, shopping in the magazine aisle. And I don't know if you guys can relate to what I'm saying, but going to a magazine aisle in a bookstore is, I think, one of the most glorious things ever. It's so much fun. I love the magazine aisle. And they've got some wonderful seating so you can sit down and kind of peruse the books. And that, of course, is right off the fabric room, which I don't remember spending a lot of time there because I got sidetracked with her felt applique stuff. But they had a nice selection of fabric from what I remember. One of the first rooms that you walk by is a fantastic room of patterns and books that the owner has made. And a lot of them are embroidery and felt applique kind of look to them. And they're based off experiences and customers' sayings and holidays and all kinds of stuff. So you can make pillows and quilts, make squares and piece them together to make quilts, all kinds of things. And it's just so charming and so fascinating and so lovely. So my mom went down there again, and of course she said everyone who came walked out with a bag. Not surprising, because not only is all this stuff really cool, but everyone who works there was so lovely, talkative, welcoming, chatty, and the owner herself was there when we were there, and I'm sure she was there when my mom was there, and just so delightful. So delightful. What every sewing store should feel like. So, I'm leaving you with this. If you are ever in Somerville, or ever want to go to Somerville, go to People, Places, and Quilts. Just do yourself a favor. Downtown Somerville, adorable, almost as cute as Waxhaw, almost. And the stores there are just charming. Highly recommend. So that's how I'm going to leave it today, peeps, with my sleeping dog on a big pile of fabric that she has put into disarray in the most adorable, sweet, loving way. I'm going to get cleaned up here. I'm going to move stuff around so I can sew, get my bag completed, and then I am going to do laundry. The never-ending laundry. I don't know why it's been such a plague for me lately, but I am very grateful that I get to do laundry at my own house any time of day without needing to put quarters in it. So there's a plus. And I can just put them right away back to where they go. Also a plus. I'm also washing some lovely clothes that I was able to purchase. So what I'm trying to say is I'm very grateful for having laundry that I need to do. That's what I need to do. That was a good self-check. Okay, people. You all have a lovely day. I hope you get some great sewing time in. Ron, I hope you get to come over and play with Mia. She needs some treats. I'm just saying. She's a blind dog. She needs to get to know you. Plus, she needs treats. When we got Mia, she was very skinny. She's been very busy and nervous and pacing and all that kind of stuff before we got her. Just needs somebody to be home more than not. And though we are not always home and Mike travels, we kind of had the best schedule that was available for a lot of people. So everyone felt good about giving it a try. And she's definitely fitting right in. But she was all skin and bones. You could really see her ribs when we first got her. And we've only had her about 10 days and she's already fattening up. Not that we want to make her fat, but I would like to not see her ribs too. So I am sure we'll see more of Mia. I am very pleased that she's curling up and sleeping in the sewing room while Mom is in here, because that's exactly why I got her. That and to sleep with. I mean, sure, I have a husband, but I mean, a cute little pup that's nice and soft and will kiss your face. That's all you need. I digress. Oh, I almost forgot. So, I had gotten some needle binders when, maybe a year ago or so. And, but they're by Rebel Stitcher, which, also has a YouTube channel, and a lot of people get her needle binders. And I had lost this needle minder, and I've been so distressed. I didn't know where to find it, but look, I found it today. With, you know where it was? It was attached to my zippers in my zipper drawer. I don't know how I got in there, but a little RBG, which in these current times, I'm really glad I found her. So she's going to keep me company in my sewing room. And that's all, folks. You all have a lovely evening or a lovely day. Thank you for watching my video, for liking and subscribing. I've got a new subscriber, so hello, new subscriber. Happy to have you on board. And thank you all for everything. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.